Welcome to the final race of the season, under the lights in Las Vegas. And the one thing I completely forgot to mention until now, as I'm recording all the voiceovers all at once, basically, is remember when Hadjar in my career mode had his engine explode in Australia? Guess where that happened in real life? The same exact spot, basically. So, if we somehow end up, if current events of the world keep going as they are, who knows, because this video is releasing a month after I record the voiceover, basically, a month and a half, I guess. If things continue as they are, I would not be surprised if the season actually did end in Las Vegas. And you know what? I would be fine with that, considering it's better than having teams do a turnaround flight of 16 hours immediately after a race, because that is insane. I know they can sleep on the plane, but like, geez, the schedule is... The logistics of the schedule are not good. Anyway, cars and stuff instead of schedule logistics. We have a very competitive car in terms of straight line speed, as we're going to reach the top speed of our car of 346, almost 347, just about. But the engine is absolutely struggling there right at the very end, but we'll go ahead and lob the tires onto the curbs and make our way through to the start-finish line, down towards the front straightaway, pit straight we go, and we will qualify in a provisional, wait for it, P3 to start off our final race of our rookie season.
We're on the glitz and the glamour of the famous strip. It is time for the Las Vegas Grand Prix. 3.8 miles and 3 straights. A good place to do some sightseeing at around 210 miles per hour. 17 corners should provide plenty of interest and lots of overtaking with 2 DRS zones. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and Frostbite completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Norris, Yuki Tsunoda, and Albon, Hulkenberg, Gasly, Ocon, and Oscar Piastri, Antonelli, Russell, Lance Stroll, Bortoletto, Sainz, Colapinto, Fernando Alonso, and Ollie Behrman. Hadjar and Max Verstappen completes the grid. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway.
Shout out to George Russell for taking the grid penalty as we get going, making us on the front row with Lewis Hamilton getting the jump on the front row as well on the Ferraris for the last race of the season. But of course, with how this track is, and at the end of the first lap, or closing into the end of the first lap, this straight line speed is going to be a detriment. Well, not the straight line speed for us being a detriment, but it's more the DRS zone going to be a detriment. But we do manage to hold off Lewis to lead our first lap of the last race of the season. So more laps led being put to our stats counter. Luckily, I'm sure there's a statistics counter there somewhere in the game that I've missed, but a couple laps later on lap 3, Norris is going to have DRS on Hamilton, and we're going to just follow right through as we're going to reach the same qualifying speed, 346, just barely, but we are not in the slipstream. So it could go higher, all things considered. But Norris had a chance. He'll move himself up to second as we bobble out of the corner. But we're going to move ourselves past both Hamilton and Norris for the lead. And we just barely ride the wall here, and that's going to slow us down a little bit. In fact, Norris will get a run on the outside of us, shockingly enough, with assistance from DRS as well on corner exit. So we will let him have the position until the backstretch DRS zone. And here we go at the top speed. 341, 340, 339, into the braking zone we go. And we just brake a little bit too much, almost going nose first into the wall. We flick spin it, and luckily it's only lap 4 of 50. Still early on for mistakes like this. So we will go ahead and catch our way up to the rest of the field. A couple laps later, there's a yellow flag behind us which will eventually turn into a safety car. Timed that a little bit early, but still safety car for the first time in a while, I think, actually. I haven't had a safety car for a few races now, since Coda. So we'll go ahead and jump to the safety car restart. Too early for us to try any strategy shenanigans. But this does close us up to P3, or P4, I should say. And the right front being that worn is because of locking up a corner entry a little bit early. So we go ahead and get back racing underway, having a mental note to cool it down, quite literally, on the right side tire, as Albon is running in second. Very interesting that the Williams occasionally have like this top 3 pace at times, especially early on in some races. They are there, but Albon's basically just going to give us the position here, so lay over for us. Entering, I don't even know what corner number this is actually, but towards the looming sphere. And we go ahead and jump ahead quite a few laps as we had to chase down Norris. Into turn number 1 we go. We're going to have a prime opportunity here to make a pass until the safety car comes out for a second time. Same area of the racetrack where the safety car was deployed as well. So that section of the track would have been where we could have passed Lando Norris, but unfortunately that will not be the case. We have to wait for the restart to do anything of the sort until Norris has another mechanical failure. The reliability issues striking the McLaren for, I think, genuinely maybe like the 6th time in the season. I don't know. It's a lot for both McLarens, but we have now inherited the lead. Norris is out of the last race of the season. We have not caught the safety car as of yet still, so we're going to go ahead and box. We're coming to lap 20. This is a prime opportunity for us to capitalize on the medium tires here, switching out to the hard tires. Hamilton has the same idea. And interestingly, so does Leclerc and Piastri. Leclerc should have stayed out 10 or 20 laps on the hard tires. Not really too bad, but he would have been offset with the strategy, so it kind of makes sense to box anyway. But we now have the lead of the Grand Prix of the last race of the season. We learned this time from what happened before at Coda with the automatic fucking throttle bullshit. So this is me now, fully manual with pace. I'm priming the battery to get it going. Not hitting 100 kilometers an hour yet. Downshift to first gear, and now we go so fast that we basically over-rev the engine. But we are down and away, getting a good jump on Hamilton and the rest of the field as we make our way down into turn 1, washing wide just a little bit, but we have to jump ahead here a couple laps towards the back straightaway, or at least a lap or so towards the back straightaway, where Hamilton will have DRS, but he would have had DRS until he passed me before the DRS detection point. So we'll happily take the DRS and battle side by side with Hamilton. We're actually going to try and let off a little bit, take the apex away from Hamilton. Side by side, a little bit of contact with the barge board, but Hamilton will stay firm and take the lead from us from the Grand Prix. So the next lap, it's going to be more the same. This time we're going to try and see if we can get this done this time. Hamilton's going to go defensive. We'll go to the outside this time. And into the braking zone we go. Hamilton's going to have the reverse. Can we get the job done like Hamilton did? Absolutely not. And I'm not confident in staying around the outside of Hamilton in that section, or any AI car in that section. So instead we're going to wait, dive down to the inside here, and he makes contact with us. He defends too late, and our front wing is broken. We're going to send it on Hamilton basically in retaliation. But yeah, our front wing is now damaged early on, midway through the race. Not exactly the thing that I wanted to have happen here. As we're going to wait for Hamilton to inevitably have DRS and close up and pass us on the right-hand side, entering the braking zone. We'll give him the room, barely, but we will go ahead and stay to the left-hand side. Hamilton's going to stick through, be more confident here, especially in the braking zone into this section. But we'll stay side by side with Hamilton through the sphere, or through the sphere section. I don't even know if that corner even has a name, but we'll stay side by side with Lewis anyway, kind of not run him wide necessarily, but scare him offline just a little bit, and we will retain P1 for the moment. And more DRS games as Hamilton passes us before the DRS zone. Leclerc is going to try and make a move. In fact, he'll follow us through on this teammate, 352 kilometers, 53, 4, almost 355 kilometers into the braking zone we go. All with front wing damage, by the way, so we probably could have made easily 357, but unfortunately for us, Leclerc is going to make his way through. But I mean, he's got DRS, so it's not exactly worthwhile to keep fighting. I really hate the defensive objectives so much. As we make inadvertent contact with Leclerc, he's going to go side by side with Hamilton behind us. And we're just constantly checking back, because if those two stay side by side, that would be fantastic for us. But unfortunately, they're not side by side long enough to warrant at least one of them not passing me in the first DRS zone. So we'll stick to the outside once again. It's a little bit more of the same, but Hamilton is going to get himself cleared. He'll go defensive, and we're going to be forced to back out here. Leclerc's actually going to dive up to the inside here, go alongside us, and this is going to put us a little bit on the back foot here, so I back out and try to defend to the inside, and we will shut off of Verstappen from trying to make a move. But now it's myself and Leclerc behind his teammate, Lewis Hamilton, as we make our way through down towards what I think is, I don't even know a corner number. I'm not going to try. I was going to say turn 10, but it might be a completely different track layout I'm thinking about. So my brain is not the most reliable in that sense, but we will go to the left-hand side of Leclerc with DRS. We decide not to deploy the battery just yet, but we will now that we see Leclerc starting to fight back with us. Both of us catching Hamilton at a huge rate of speed, but not enough to make a pass on Hamilton in particular, and we'll shut out Leclerc very firmly here. That's going to force him off to back out by a significant margin, and he will not be in DRS range of us. We'll be in DRS range of Hamilton, who's going to go defensive here. We choose strategically not to deploy the battery, but we will go to the outside in the braking zone. Hamilton's going to try and stay firm as well. We're going to go for the switchback if we can, but it's not going to work out. So we are closer this time, luckily, and we're going to make the pass early and more firmly to the left-hand side. As we come through the final corner with 21 laps to go, we retake the lead, but Hamilton's going to fight us right back just before the DRS zone. Every single time, the AI really should be a little bit more strategic in that sense to not do something like that. I wonder if they move the DRS zone in real life. At least what would be the new straight mode zone in real life. But we are 3 wide with Leclerc and Hamilton on either side. I just decided to hold my line, and Leclerc, you'll see here in a second at the top left, is that Leclerc passed over the corner. He didn't give up the position. Shockingly enough, that's the first time that I've seen an AI car get a corner cut penalty. And first of all, get a corner cut penalty, and secondly, not serve it. Very intriguing, as Hamilton's going to do the same thing that happened to us before, where it's going to be this time Leclerc with the lead, Hamilton passing us. We're going to lock up on the left-hand side. That's going to put Verstappen nearly into the side of us. I'm going to go ahead and deploy battery here and get ahead of Verstappen. And a few laps later, we're going to go ahead and follow through here, nearly hitting the walls, but I decided it's time to box for medium tires. Leclerc decides it's the same time as well, and we will have an advantage by default. It's going to be a 7-second pit stop for us. It's going to be in about 12-second pit stop for Charles Leclerc, since he has to wait for the 10-second penalty to go away before his car can be served. It's 7 seconds for us because of the front wing damage that we incurred earlier on, thanks to Hamilton and the definitely logistical braking tactics of the AI. But regardless, we make our way through up to lap 39, making our way up through the field back on our medium tires, getting by the ever so familiar Pierre Gasly. And then cutting to later in the lap with the last DRS zone, where Tsunoda and Behrman battling side by side, being held up by Mr. Nico Hülkenberg and by extension Alex Albon. Behrman is a driver that we are definitely going to try and force the issue with here alongside, as Behrman's going to get shuffled out. We're back into the points, and we're very easily, we can see it coming from a mile away here. We're going to have the momentum on Yuki Tsunoda, move to the left, brake into turn number 1, outbrake ourselves at the exit of turn 1. So we will stay alongside. Tsunoda clears us, but not in time as he just grazes the front wing. Not sure what he was doing there, if he was trying to squeeze us out, but not the best move, all things considered, even with a car right alongside you. But is Hulkenberg and Albon battling side by side amongst themselves. Even the Saubers have a really, really good straight line speed, all things considered, especially if they're this high up. All things considered, especially versus the Williams. We'll get by one of the Williams, that being Alex Albon. And then we set our sights on Nico Hulkenberg, who we will very easily dispatch as we get past the DRS zone, not even needing the DRS to make our way through. And eventually do catch up to a Mr. Kimi Antonelli, who is behind Oscar Piastri. Those two are going to go side by side. We're following through. We're going to see if we can try and get alongside Piastri. Into the braking zone we go. Non-committal. It's almost not even 3 wide. We kind of shove Antonelli off, and he's not going to give up the spot. We lose traction here, and contact is made. We lose our front wing. Antonelli is up on his side. Thanks, physics. And the safety car is deployed once again. And likely for the final time in this race, with how things are going, we're going to go and switch to our qualifying tires that we used, but that's not something I wanted to do at all, but everything out of my control effectively. So we are behind Hadjar, our teammate, on the restart. The last few laps of the 2025 season, and the last few laps of the full-length season as well. 5 laps to go as we will just send it on Behrman and Hadjar. Even with side pod damage, we are going to be a lot stronger, all things considered, especially with the setup that we have. At least versus the AI in this instance, way better than the AI. Albon's just going to do the same thing he did earlier right off the race start, or the first safety car restart, which is just lay over to the right-hand side for us. Thank you, Mr. Alex Albon. We kind of lock up a little bit, but do manage to continue on. And we'll cut through to the latter half of the same lap, where we will get by a Mr. Yuki Tsunoda, using just battery to get by him, and we will catch up to Hulkenberg, and we will repass Mr. Nico Hulkenberg in the Sauber. And by the time we come to the start-finish line, it's 4 laps to go. Leclerc doors us. Okay, that's just blatant at this point. Not sure what it is with the AI, but we are quite literally alongside. It's more front-wing damage because we just ran into Piastri the worst way possible, but we're just going to stick it out at this point. Ocon's going to try and fight off Piastri, who's missing a side plate apparently on his right front of the wing. We'll get by Piastri as well, and we are now back up into P4. Sainz hovering in P3. Could it be a podium for Williams? Well, with me catching up, no, absolutely not. And it will be Sainz being relegated back down to P4. I don't know if we will exactly have a chance of getting up to either of the leaders. But turns out, coming to 2 laps to go, we do have at least enough pace to catch up to Max Verstappen with DRS. We'll dive it down to the inside. We've oversped on corner entry. We tried the same flick spin before, but it does not grip at all. So we fumble. I mean, that is true. We fumble the potential position that we had, the potential second place that we had, and we tumble down the order down to P6. It's the same thing almost that happened at Brazil last week, choking on the final lap in some way, or at least approaching the final lap. Piastri will be in P5 for now. We will send it on Piastri and retain the position, coming to the checkered flag, and we will be deploying all of our battery possible, and we do defend from Piastri, and for the final race of the season, we end 5th in the race.
Yes, mate, that's it. The season's over, and what a season it's been. Really great effort from you. The whole team is really proud of you, so thank you for a fantastic effort. See you back in the pit lane.
So, as we see the final results, what is next? That's a good question. In maybe 2 weeks after this video comes out, maybe, we will be having the same 16-race season at 50% for the 2026 regulations, if they're released in time. We'll see how things go, but I appreciate everyone watching this season, and I hope to see you next time in the 2026 season.